Time now for our Antiquities of Meth. And joining us once again today from the Kern County Museum, we've got Ashley. How are you today?
Doing well, doing well.
All right, well, I've got two experts over there with you, so we've got three experts now to talk about what you've brought in today. So let's take it away and see what you've got.
Ashley, that looks pretty amazing. I have no clue what it is. I'm so excited to learn, but let's take a couple guesses. Zachary, what do you think this thing is, man? Any ideas? Besides old.
A couple
Right?
of clues.
Antiquities means it's a little bit old. It's not a brand new thing. And it doesn't have a screen on it, so we know it's not exactly an AI model of anything,
It's
right?
got like measuring right here.
Looks like we're measuring something.
Yeah.
You think it measures somebody's shoe or something?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You could put your shoe in there if you want to, measure someone's foot. Look on the end over here. Maybe I thought it was a pencil sharpener.
Pencil sharpener.
I mean, you know, you have those little pencil sharpeners where you can
Yeah.
change the diameter of the pencil. We got all kinds of things, but I'm so glad that Ashley's here because I don't think we're really even close to what it is. What do you have? And you brought today with your gloves. I'm not even going to touch what you have here. But what do you have for us? This is really neat.
This is a cloth chart.
Oh, okay.
So it measures a bolt of cloth by the yard. It was used in general stores, in fabric stores. This one in particular is from a store in Kernville and is probably closing in 100 years now. Like you're 100 years old.
Wow.
This is actually the more recent patent version of this tool. Other tools were wooden, but it would be used. So if you see these items here, this is a bolt of cloth.
Now tell us about a bolt, because that word means a lot different to us now than it did
It does,
before, right?
yeah. So bolt is a term for fabric when it's folded or rolled up on it like a piece of cardboard. If you've ever gone into a fabric store or a craft store, nowadays you'll see it. It's on like instead of it being wrapped up in a circle like this, it's oftentimes in a squarish.
Oh, it has, it's kind of laid out so you can see the pattern probably a little bit better, right?
Yes, yeah.
Is bolt a term that has specific measurements to go to it? Like I think of a cord of wood, right? We think about a cord of wood that actually has real specific measurements, but some guys say, well, that stock looks like about a cord of wood, right? Does a bolt have a specific measurement of how much fabric we're talking about by weight, by measuring out?
by distance, really.
Okay.
So the American system uses yard. I believe when Britain and the other world transferred to metric units, that's what they used. We still use yards.
Okay, got it.
And that, Scott, just to kind of go off that, would be 100 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, one bolt is 100 yards. Apologies.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
So how do we use this thing? Now we want to know.
I wanna
'Cause
know.
I've seen those old movies where they measure the material out and they go from their nose to the end of their arm and they're measuring out the yards. But this looks a little more specific, right?
A little bit more easier in a sense.
There
So
you
this
go.
would be for taking inventory at a store.
Okay.
So if you want to come this way, because I'm going to go ahead and have you count this. So this piece moves up and down.
And is the front piece stationary?
Yes.
Okay.
So you measure it out to here, to wherever that width is, because different fabrics were different widths.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking the same thing. A thicker fabric, right, of the same length would be a lot thicker around the bolt.
Right. So you can kind of tell, actually. Let's see here.
That one moves as well.
It does
Okay.
move as well. Let's see. It's a little sticky. It's,
They didn't have
Yeah.
WD-40 100 years ago? I gotta use that too.
well, I didn't bring any. But let's see if I can get it off to the
But the
edge
idea is you're gonna
here.
put the fabric in between the two pieces.
Fabric in
right?
between these two pieces, because then
Okay.
it gets your width, right? And then this, actually, if you can tell, there's a measuring piece right here. That, when you turn this, will also move. So if we go down this way, so we're going to count folds. So you know what? Count how many folds there are for me right there. It's best your guess.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, so we're looking at the number of
I
times
got
it's
an
gone
8.
around
8?
on the end, right?
Yeah. So, and there we are. So right now we're at 8 folds. It's at this big, probably about 2.5 yards, according to this.
That's amazing. And that makes sense, again, because each of them is different thickness, but you can adjust that over there depending on how many folds you see going around.
That's cool.
Now, do you know if every piece of, or every bolt of fabric, every roll of fabric was the same width? Because it looks like you've even brought some fabric here that's different widths, right? So we just want to know how long it is when you're using this tool, correct?
Right. So basically, you want to see how much fabric you've got on your yard.
Right.
Or not yard, your bolt.
On your bolt.
So have usually within, at least with the ways that I have seen this demonstrated, knowing how many folds there are and having that around tells you how much it is.
Yeah.
And maybe as you guys are doing that again, maybe put the device on there again, but put it the other way so John can get the picture of the numbers.
Yeah. So
There we go. So you'll be doing it kind of so that you
Let's
can't
swing
look
it
at the
that way.
numbers as easily,
If you wanna try
but
this
the camera can.
so.
All right, so let's take a look. You want to do this one here? All right, how many folds, Zachary? What do we got on this one, on this white one here?
It's hard to count from right
Yeah,
here.
they get a little bit skinny there,
Let's see, like 1,
huh?
2,
719 folds, really? Man, oh
God.
man, that's a ton.
1.
No, not quite that many. We have a little bit smaller rolls today, so that's
We
probably a
got
good thing
like
for sake of
kind of
time.
like 5 or 6.
Okay,
5 or 6.
so we're going to dial in 5 or 6.
So we're gonna. Oop.
We have to adjust the electronic
It only
controls
goes to. It looks like 8.
here. And how do you recharge the batteries in this thing? Not so much, huh? The good part is we don't need batteries for this old stuff because it actually works no matter what's happening. I like it. Okay, so you've dialed that on the top there, right? How many folds there are?
Yeah. So unfortunately, it doesn't go anything back further than 8.
Ah, okay. So let's
So-
pretend there's 8 then.
Yeah. So 8. It would be at. Let's see. 8 here.
I wonder if we pretend it was 8 and then cut it in half. A little math going on today here.
And it would right where we're at now. It says we have about 3 yards.
Wow. So then they'd still have to lay it out on a table, right? Be able to cut out how much the customer would need.
Right. This, like I said, this tool is used primarily for taking inventory. So this would be so that way they could take down how much they had in stores
Right.
after every single day.
Okay. Any idea what this is made out of? Because you have your gloves on, you don't want to tarnish it. It looks like definitely some metal for sure.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately, I don't have an idea of.
Okay.
It would definitely
because
be
I'm not
metal.
holding it, how heavy is it? Is it feel like a dense metal, or is it like an aluminum, like it's going to float away type of thing?
It's decently hefty.
Okay. There you go. So
But she's not doing curls with it over there,
No.
so it's not
But-
that heavy, right?
It's also not like super light either.
Right.
It's got some weight,
okay.
which could be from the other instrument inside of it.
Right. So, and I noticed there's 2 cylinders here, right? The top one is the one you were adjusting. Is there anything at all you can adjust in the bottom one, or is that just to help those pieces
I would
glide
imagine
along?
it's like a roll, like a film roll.
Okay.
Where it's so that way you can have more of those rolls.
Right.
So if it
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
not
There you go.
describing this very well.
No, I understand what you're saying though, because there has to be maybe some more calibrations that you could make depending on what you're measuring. Because not everything is going to come exactly like this.
Right.
You're going to have something bigger. You're going to have something that's real thick, right? Maybe like a tarp or a canvas.
Yes,
That
yeah.
would be a lot thicker. And then of course you can have some cotton fabrics that are going to be really, really thin, right? Be counting a lot of layers there at the end.
There you
So-
go, nicely done. So it's
like
an
that.
antiquity of math, and it's also a tool of mathematics. So Zachary, had you ever seen anything like that before in your life?
No.
None. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this for the first time right there. Ashley, thank you very much for coming in today with another antiquity of math from the Kern County Museum. We'll be back with more right after this.